So yeah, it can only get better as we go on or as we go deeper in this program. So today we are going to continue from where we stopped the last time. So yeah, I saw many of your assignments. They yeah, one thing I love about the assignments you guys did was how creative you were. Yeah, the background images, they were sweet. Yeah, most of them were really sweet. So that's really impressive. And some other people that did extra things, those are the people hiding under beginners. But it's fine, Sha. Yeah, so let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay. So this is why we stopped the last time. We had this. We had this. So yeah, this is where you stopped in our CSS. Okay. And the assignment was to remove this scroll bar on the bottom and leave this one on the right, because this is the normal scroll bar we should have. Okay, this is the normal scroll bar we should have, as long as you have contents down or you changed the height of the height of your web page. Okay, so the assignment was to remove this particular scroll bar in the bottom. So I'll go ahead and do the correction. So yeah, we remove it from, I will remove it using the.
I can't really see the scroll bar you're talking about.
This scroll bar here now, this very one. This one. Can you see it now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, fine. So I will remove it from the body tag. Now, there's something you should understand. Yeah, just like in our math class, right? If I can remember very well. I'm not good with math, but yeah, I will try and explain. So the horizontal part or axis, right? It represents X, right? The horizontal, which is the where the scroll bar is where the content is overflowing, right? And the vertical axis is the Y, which is this. Okay. So now the issue we are having is at the horizontal axis. That's where we're having the problem. So that's where we are going to remove the overflow, right? So I'll go ahead and do overflow X to be hidden. Let's see if I was right, or if I'm right, rather. Okay. So the scroll bar is gone. The one on the bottom. So I think I'm still good in mathematics. So yeah, we remove the overflow X because my web page was overflowing horizontally, right? And we have overflow X and overflow Y. Okay. You have a shorthand of overflow, which will deal with the X and the Y. If I use a shorthand of overflow, then I'll have no scroll bar. I'll have no scroll bar, which is not what we want. So I would rather tackle the problem at the exact place. Okay. And somehow my code has scattered, which I don't know. Okay. So I remove it again by targeting the body type and removing the overflow of X, hiding it. Okay, so it solves the problem again. Yeah, Emmanuel, you are raising your hand.
Okay, yes, I wanted to say something, but the issue has been resolved because it was actually the same thing that I encountered while doing my assignment.
Okay.
I noticed that what was causing the overflow in my code was this Instagram iClass. So I don't know what happened to the code. So I had to remove the code and copy a fresh one and paste. Then the overflow was now solved. The problem was now solved.
Okay, fine. If that worked for you, fine. Yeah, some people didn't. I think one person didn't have the overflow issue. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but if your own was solved by doing that, then fine. That's still okay. Provided you figured out the problem. Okay.
Evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
For me, I was able to fix the overflow issue, but I have an issue in which is like, if you go to the left corner of your screen, you'll be able to see a white bar on it. I've been trying to fix it. Yeah, at the left corner of your screen. Yeah. Just imagine it's as if there's a white bar. It's narrow, but there's a white bar going up, that's vertically. And then if you go to the top of your screen again, where Mosh is, where home about services, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know, it's not much, but it's like, it's noticeable at the end of the day. I don't know if I should share my screen for you to get a better idea.
Okay, let me stop sharing while you share your own.
Please, I'm coming.
Okay.
Maybe we can just continue the class. Later on, after the class, we can try and resolve the issue.
All right, that's a nice suggestion. So does anybody else have question pertaining to the assignment? You can indicate. So this is how I solved my own. You might, like somebody has indicated, they solved their own differently. Yeah. So provided it solved the problem, fine. Okay. So today we'll be try and finish up the rest of the code we have. Okay, if there's no further question, let's continue. I hope you guys are with me. Can we all move on?
Yes, sir.
All right, all right. Yeah, if we can quickly finish it up, I think the ending should be fun. The ending, yeah, of today's class should be fun. So let's continue. We stopped at this the main.content.media icons, right? Which are these ones. So we are done with this main section, right? So another thing we can do is we have a common class of title, right? So let's see if we can give the title styling. Give it a width of 100%. Give it a display value of flex. Then we justify the contents to center. Now, okay, let me finish it up first. Yes. Directions. Now, for us to have a perfect centering, okay, for us to center an element perfectly, what I mean by perfect centering, like the content being at the very center of your screen, like at the very center, okay? The align items aligns elements vertically, right? That is the top and the bottom. Then the element will be at the center. As if you use align item center. It aligns vertically, like the top and bottom. Then the elements will be like at the center, right? Then justified content aligns elements to horizontally at the center, right? So if you combine their two, you're having a perfect centered element. Let's see our title. Yeah, we have it at the very center. I don't know if you guys understood my explanation. So the title is centered. So after the title, we have We also have the section title, which is targeting the ST directly, right? Now this one now is, can that person mute? Yeah, please try to mute your audio. Okay, Arnold. If you want to center an element now, what my cursor at this very point, which is you can call it perfect center, right? It is at the very center of your screen. Okay. You combine the align contents, align items, which is this one, center, and the justify content center. Now, align items center, what does it do? It centers your element vertically. When I mean vertically, like the way this our codes now are aligned vertically, right? So if you want to align an element vertically at the center, if you apply these align items, it will move it at the center vertically, right? Then if you want to align elements horizontally at the center, you just like this one now. This zoom menu here, right? The green one now showing is the way it's centered now. It just centered horizontally, but not vertically, because it's on a horizontal axis now. So it's at the center. It's assumed they use this justify content center. Okay, is centered horizontally now, right? They used justify content center, right? Then if you apply align item center to it, it will then push down to the center of the screen, which is a perfect centering. Does that make sense now, Arnold? Okay, fine. So we styled the div, right? I want to target the H2 directly. Since it has a class of section title, we don't need to target it by the tag name of H2. So we go okay. So to avoid typos, okay, you can still come to your HTML, copy the class name or the ID name, okay? And if it is class, you add the dots before you paste. If it is ID, you add the hash sign before you paste. So to avoid typos, you copy the classes from your HTML. So we position it relative and give it a color. Color of okay. Then we change the font size. Also the font width of 800. Then margin 60 PS. Okay. So we check what we have. So now we have this. This is the one we are targeting. You can see all of them have the same colors. Okay. Flourish.
Okay, sir, please, I want to ask, in this thing, I noticed that in this font weight that we'll be using, we are not putting like XI units, maybe pixels percentage. What
Yes.
does it really have effects if we put the SI unit? What is the difference when we put SI unit and when we leave it like this?
There's one way to find out.
Okay.
Which is by doing and seeing the effect. Does it have any effect?
No, sir.
Check again. Does it?
I think it's bigger when you put pixel. Or is it my eyes? I don't know.
Okay, let's try something. I don't know if my code is not responding or what. Okay. Okay. But basically the font weight doesn't work with pixels, okay?
Okay, sir.
It works with just the numbers.
Okay.
For instance, if you type it, you can see the values it's bringing out for you from 100 to 900. You have bold, you have bolder, and light, normal, yeah. So it doesn't come with pixels. Yeah, Victor, you asked about okay, for now, Victor, we are not styling the about per se. I know I'm at the about section, but we are styling the things that are common, like, right? The things that are common now. This section title and the title, they are also in the skills section. So we have title here and section title. And yeah, we also have title here and section title. So I'm not really styling the about now. I'm just getting the common these things, okay? That's why I didn't include about. I hope that answers your question. Okay, thanks. So yeah, this is how our section title looks now. Okay. So it's centered and colored.
Excuse me, sir.
Okay.
the changes that we just made to our code now.
I can't hear you clearly.
I say the recent change you just made now inside this class, I did not experience them. I don't know, it's not reflecting in my browser.
Like our title having these colors and centered.
The title, the section title, the title review. I didn't see any change.
Okay, see what we are targeting here now, the title.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
See what we targeted here now, this title now.
Yeah, title, yeah.
So this is how we targeted it now. Then we also targeted the S2 inside the title div, right? The S2 has a class of section title, which we used in coloring the content inside the S2 and increased the font.
Okay.
So we are targeting it by the class names. So the div has the class name of title and also review. There are two different classes here, but we are using the title. Then here we are using the section title, and the section and the title are one because they are joined with a hyphen.
Let me try. I'll get back.
Okay, fine. So okay, let's continue. So we are done with the section title. We are done with the section title. Then yeah, let's beautify our section.
Sorry, sir.
Okay.
I needed to ask, what if would we have if we were to remove flex direction column in the title?
Okay, let's see what it does. Can you see the issue we are having here now? Can you see the issue we have here now?
Yeah, I can see.
Okay. So that's one of the reasons we are making it to be column, the direction. Because by default now, here now is on a row, like the direction is row, right? Row is horizontal and column is vertical, right?
Okay, I get it.
All right, thank you. So let's beautify our section title. And we are going to use a studio class called before. Now we have a studio class called before and after. Okay. Now it's a studio class because it doesn't exist in our HTML, right? We just created it here now. That's where the name came from, studio class. It wasn't in existence before. We just created one. Now, what does it do now? We are trying to kind of add something before the section title, right? Remember the section title is the div containing the about me or the what's it called again? The section title itself. Okay, yeah, sorry, the section title is this, the S2. So we are trying to add something before it. Okay, we are trying to add something before it. So how does this work? So let's try creating we have this position. With a height of 4 pixels. Then a background of okay. See what we have here now. Let's remove this. Let's comment out this. See where we have it. Okay, you can see it now. Now, like I said before, the before adds something or a content before the element which we are targeting. So we are adding something before the section title. Yeah, these are section title, the H2. Okay. So what we added now is just an empty content, but we gave it a width of 140 pixels, right? Then a height of 4 pixels with a background color. So the color makes it possible for us to see, right? If you increase the width to, let's say, 180 pixels, you can see where it's stretching. You can make it 190, stretches further, right? You can see it's before this section title now is on top, right? It's before it. If you add another one after the same styling, it will come under this one, right? So now we added an empty content. Now, assuming we wanted to add a content, let's say, hello. You can see the hello is on top of the services. Let's remove this. You can see where the hello is now because we added a content. But what we are adding is not a content. We don't want to add a content. That's why we leave it blank. That's why we leave it with empty quotation marks, right? Because we don't want to add a content. We just want to add kind of styling, an empty content. Just give it a background color and a width, right? Now, by default, you can see where it is, right? So this where the power of absolute positioning comes in. Now, remember when I said the difference between absolute and relative? Relative, yeah, it will be relative to the position of the parent element. An element which you position relative will be positioned relatively to the parent element. Then you use this either the top, the left, the bottom, the right to position it where you want it to be. But that space where you moved that element from using relative will still be there. Okay, it will still be there. But absolute now removes the element from the normal flow, right? Just like this one, if I put it, because it's absolute now, I have total control over it. I can put it anywhere I want, and the space where it came out from will be closed, right? The space will be closed. So that's the difference and the power of absolute positioning, right? It gives you the control over an element, so you can position it anywhere, right? The space or the space where you took it from will not be in existence again. So the other elements below it will occupy the space. So I will use this top and left to position it where I want it to be, right? This place. So now you can see with the top left, I have it at this place. So let's try something else, which is this transform and translate x minus 50. Okay. Let's change the value and see what happens. You can use bottom depending on how you want to position it, Victor. We have top, we have left, we have right, we have bottom. So depending on where you want to position that particular element, okay? So you can use any of them, depending on where you want to position the element. So it's just up to you what you are creating or what you want to achieve, okay? So yeah, with this, we are able to remember X is our horizontal axis, right? And the vertical axis is the Y. So I'm trying to explain this translate X now. Is if we say 90, I think you should draw it to the left more. Yeah, these are the kind of a middle now. Well, let's leave it at 650. Okay, this should be percent now. Should be percent now. So it's at the middle. It's at the very middle. And we've added this before now. They want to add want to also use the after studio class. Okay. So we also create an empty content and we position it absolute too. Then top is okay. Then we have left of 50%. For 50% width of 15 pixels. Okay. And also height of 15 pixels. Now background. Let's see what you created first. You can see what you created here. If we do it a width of the same width of 190. 190. Still stretching out, right? If you add this transform it covers it, right? It covers it. We are giving it the exact value. But because the design you want to create, you don't want to give it the exact value. That's why we used width of 15 here. Width of 15 here. So we use this transform and translate x minus 50% to bring it at the middle, right? If it is a positive number, it should be shifting right. And because it's minus, it's drawing it to the left. It makes it to be at the center with the 50%, okay? Then because we don't have, we don't want it to be a square like this. Now we talked about border radius. We used it before. Some we gave 5 pixels, some we gave 3 pixels, right? Yeah, we use border radius in images too. Okay. So, but if you want it, or if you want an element to be round, we use the border radius to do that. Okay. So we use border radius of 50% to make things round. Okay. But that's not the color we want to give our elements. We want it to have this color. Want it to have this color. So we have this design in every of our section title. Okay. By using the before studio class and the after studio class, we created empty contents. Yeah, gave it a width and height and background color. Then with other properties here. Okay. I don't know if we are on the same page.
We are, sir. Why did you use the before? Why not? Didn't you just go straight to the after? Is it just for example purposes or explanation purposes?
No, we created two elements now.
Yeah, I know, but because I've used the after for the, shall I say, rectangular element as well, could we not?
Okay, is that what you mean?
Yeah.
No, it will not work. It will not work now because the after is kind of just like applying, giving an element the same a class name, right? So if you use that class name now to style that element, it will only take the styling from that particular class now, right? Unless you use ID to give it another styling. I don't know if you get me.
I think I have an idea. So if we had used section title and after and done the rectangular elements, we could not have done this. We could not have used section title and after to do the circular elements. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
All right. So this is where we are currently.
Sorry, I'm still lost. Just explain what you just said now. The after and the before element. Please just explain it again, please. Thank you.
Okay, the before elements, before studio class. Okay. We use it to create the before studio class now. It's kind of something that is not in existence before. It doesn't exist anywhere in our HTML. Okay, so we just created it in this CSS to use it for something. So we are creating a content, right? But it should be an empty content. You don't want to create maybe using Word or something. We are trying to create an empty element to style our section title. Okay, so the before now appears before the element, like we saw at the beginning, right? The after studio class adds content after the element where is attached to. So before creates an element before the element where it is attached to. Okay, so combining the two now, we have this design. Okay. Now we use the absolute positioning so that we can have control of it, and it wouldn't leave any space. Okay, because the absolute, when you position an element absolute, okay, you have control over the element to position it anywhere you want, and the space where it's left will not be will still not be there. It will be closed up by other elements. Okay, so the after studio class is used for creating contents. For creating contents. How didn't we let's say we added the contents here. You can see we are having the halo here. Okay, so it's appearing after the my services. Also, we use this to position it where we want it to be after our elements. So this is the elements where is attached to the section title, which is this says to here. I don't know if I explained better this time.
Please, sir, I want to get something clear.
Okay.
Since we can have total control of the content we are creating, what if we had used section title after to create the rectangular shape, then push it whether to the top or to the bottom or to the left, then use the section title, like just using them interchangeably? Wouldn't it have worked?
It will still work, but yeah, okay, yeah, it will work. And that will be going in reverse.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Because if you position this after now, the after studio class, if you also position it absolute and use this top and left to make it go to the top of these elements, it will still work because you're in control of it now. You can position it here, right? But that will be going in reverse, right?
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah. Yes, Vicent, something like that. Something like that. So yeah, we are done with the general styling for the section properties. So now we quickly go to the about section. We go to the about section. Where we have, first of all, we have the about content. I think we are done with this one now. So there's no need styling it individually. That's the reason why we did it up there, so that we know that every element that has this will have the effects of the styling. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get down to the content. So we do the about space, about content. About content. Then we position it relative. Okay. And the width should be 100% of the parent size. Then we display it. You can see the about now is in block display mode, right? It's stacking under the image. This one, the write-up is stacking under the image. So this is displaying as a block element now. So we want to display it flex. So let's see. Yeah, it should come side by side now. Then we justify the content of space between, just like we did in our navigation, space between, separating Paul from Barnabas, right? Okay. And Paul and Barnabas refuse to be separated. Okay, Prince. Make sure you get the values of the properties correctly. I interchangeably use them percentage and pixels, okay? So you should take note of the right values we used, okay? Then, yeah, at the beginning, I did a correction of our assignments where I removed the overflow. I removed this from my body tag. That's why I did I hid the overflow, which corrected the overflow I was having. So yeah, make sure you have it fixed. Then yeah, you also check very well if you have the right values for the properties. Yeah. So and see if it will work out. Okay. So we give it a margin top of 20 pixels. Prince, I hope you heard me. Okay. Okay, just continue. We'll get to that. Maybe. Yeah, we'll get back to that one. Let's just continue, okay? So you give it a space at the top. And yeah. Paul refused to leave Barnabas. So let's see how we can force them apart. So now we've styled the whole contents, right? Now we have two direct child divs here. We have the one of co-left and co-right, okay? So let's target them now. So what I will do is to copy this one. Then add the class of co-left. Which is, yeah, where the image is residing. Okay. So now we also position it relative. Okay. Then on the width, remember the content has 100% width. Okay. So now this 100% it has, we want this left, that's the image, okay, to have 50% of it. Yeah, 50% of it. Okay. Then the right which is the right top. Okay. Relative to, and the width should be 45%. Now they are apart. Okay, and our image is small. Yeah, my image is small. Okay, that latest version, I think it's kind of, should I say, difficult to go about. Okay. Had it been you told me, I would advise you to download the earlier version, maybe the one of last year or last 2 years, last year will be fine. But the current version now, I think
I have the current version.
to you.
So if you want to get the live server, you simply just go to your settings. Yeah, it's your settings, or rather you go to Visual Studio and you go to where you can add extensions. You need internet to do this though. If you go to where you can add extensions, you just type live server. You see an extension that's called live server. You add it to your Visual Studio. And then whenever you want to see it, you just right click on your, what's the name?
Okay, yeah, thank you. Mary Jane, okay, if I got what you're asking now, sorry. Now, yeah, I use this live server. You can see this one is, I'm already on live server. So if you go here, this is where the extensions are. Yeah, you can download the live server. This is the ones I have. There's my live server. Yeah. This particular one. So you can install it. Okay, once you install, it should pop up here. Okay, so you see the live server here. Okay. Then if you don't see it, you can always right click from HTML file and you see open with live server. Okay. So, but if you install it, it should appear here. It should appear here, okay? So go to the extensions and search for live server, the one with retweak, yeah, retweak day. That's the guy that developed the extension. Are you clear on that now, Mary Jane? Let me see if I can change my image. So, man, this code is long, like very long. So I want to change my image because that one there is small. Go into my images and yeah, let me see what I have here. Uh-oh, this one is big. Let me try the Web3. Okay, I will manage that, Sha. Let me fix it. So after the now we didn't give it 50%, 50%, so that we have space between them. So that we have space between them. Okay, that's why I didn't give it 50%. So the 5% now remaining is for the space. Okay, Flourish, yeah. You're raising your hand.
Yes, sir. Please, I want to get this thing clear now. What is the difference between using this live server, because I just installed my own, and viewing your code in your in your Chrome? What is the advantage?
Live server now, once you're using live server, you don't need to reload your web page for any changes to make in your code to take effect. Once you change anything, and also if you have if you set your listing to be in auto save, if you go to your settings and enable auto save. So once you make any changes or write any code, within some seconds it auto saves, and with the live server, your browser reloads automatically.
Okay.
You don't need to go to your browser and reload. And the URL there, okay, let me. Yes. So you can see the URL now here.
Yes.
That means he's using a live server, right?
Okay, thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Okay, for the autosave, you have the settings. If you go to your settings here, you click here, you get your settings and go to your settings here. Okay. The first thing you see is the autosave. So you have it on after delay. Okay. Have it on after delay. So it saves automatically. That's how you get your autosave. Osinachi, have you done that?
Yes, I've done it, sir.
Okay. All right. So we, now we are progressing to the image card, right? We've done this parent, these direct children of the content class, right? So we are targeting this one now, the image card. So yeah, I will take up, I will take these and control. Left dots. Yeah, like I said, for typo's sake, so you don't make mistake in the class names, you can copy from your HTML, okay? And paste it here in your CSS. Okay. And we have mean height. Yeah, I've explained the mean height before now. So no matter how small the device used in viewing your projects, this particular image card will not go below this view, this height. should not go below this height. So the minimum height it can show on any device is 450. Okay. So you still have my very massive image. So let's, yeah, if your image is as big as mine, you can resize with me now. So we are targeting the image tag directly. So we have the IMG card, which is what we've done here now. Then the IMG is the tag housing the image itself. So that's what we are targeting now. Then position it absolute. The top be 0. And left to be 0. And the width should be this resized my image. Okay. And it's looking very responsible. Unlike before now. So yeah, and we have I can give it a height of 80%. Okay. You can see it's stretched out a little bit more. So when you change the values of these properties, you get different results. Okay. So whichever one that appeals to you or to your design, please do well to use that one. But yeah, I think 80 is good for me here. And you can see the 5% space I was talking about. You have this space. And even we made it 50-50, it will not look nice. It will be very close to each other.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
So what if you want the text to come under the image?
Under the image, how?
You know, you put your text and your image on the same, should I say, side or the same column. They're like in a table now. You have the image on one side. Yeah, you have the image on one side. You have the text on the other side.
Okay.
So what if you want to bring the image, the text below the image?
Bringing it here.
Yeah.
You can do that. You can do that, but it wouldn't, okay, depending on how you aligned it now. It's possible to do that for sure. But in this situation, it doesn't look nice now.
Yeah, it's actually for my own design that I felt it to do better. That's why I'm asking.
Sure. It can come under it, sure.
How would I
we change it to colon, right?
Yeah, colon, right.
No, like we change the display, the flex direction to colon now.
The display?
The flex direction. Yeah. Okay, now. How did you do that again?
In title, I saw flex direction column.
Okay. Okay. What we can do is let me see. Contents. But it's very possible to make it come under the image.
Okay.
It's possible to do that. Let me see if you can. So it's under it now.
Yes, I've seen.
Yeah, so you change the flex direction to column. Okay. So we use to cover. That's for the image, for it to cover the space where is residing. So we have the border radius to be just 10 pixels. So we want it to just get rounded at the corner just a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, so I hope you're on the same page with this. Maybe somebody is lost. Are we all on this part?
Was you typing code?
Yeah, sir, please. In my own image, the space between them is as if it's more than 5%. Like the space is much in my own, and I gave it the same 50-45% that you gave in the.
It's as if the space is much. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay.
The about content go left and about content go right. I don't know.
The line is breaking.
Sir.
I can hear you now.
In my own image, in the about me, the space in between is much, and I gave it 50-45 in about content go left and about content go right. So I don't know why my own space is that much.
Are you done with the styling of the image itself?
Yes, that we had about content go left image card IMG.
No, I mean this part. Now, are you done with it? Yeah, this part?
Yes, sir.
You're seeing my cursor, right?
Yes, I'm seeing it.
Okay. Then maybe try changing image. See if it will fix it.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, you can see the first one I used was very small and the space was much, right? So yes. I had to change image.
Okay.
So you can also be from the image. So do you have any questions so far? Because the point is for us to understand the usage and what the properties does, not just using them. Because you can always copy codes anywhere. So, but the aim is for us to understand these properties in order to use them appropriately. Okay, flourish. That's good. Okay. Then, yeah, is remaining this part. We'll come back to style it. Okay, we'll come back to style it. Okay. Like I explained before. The object fit is used to yeah, maybe resize an image to fit into the container where it is, like I explained before. It makes it to cover and fit inside the container where it is residing, just like the image card. So maybe if the image is smaller or something, it should fit into that container very well. Or if it is big. I don't know if I explained to you well. So no matter the size of the image, this will resize it to make it fit into the container. Like this image card now is the container where the image is, right? So using the object fit to make it fit into that container, like cover the whole container. I don't know if I answered your question, Prince. Yes, sir. So are we up to this point? Are we up to this point? Indicate so that we move on. Okay, so let's. Okay, that's lovely. Let's get on. Now we are done with we'll come back to this one too. So let's get to them. the skills section. No, it's not the same. It's not the same, Prince. It's not the same. So we go to the skills section. Okay. So the skills, first of all, you have a class of skills, an ID of skills. Okay, so we are targeting the class of skills. I'm making the background to be a black color. To a background of black color. So these are our 6 skills section. The kind of a bluish black or something like that. Or should be a midnight blue. Yeah, kind of a midnight blue. So we have the skills and content. So we do a skills content, right? I have position, relative. And we have width of 100%. We have display of flex. We have justify content of space between the color of white, the margin top. Of 20 pixels. So let's see what we will have here. Okay. Yeah, similar to the one we had here initially. Similar. Similar to it. So you have the skills co-left and co-right. Okay. So we take them one after the other. You go with the co-left first. Go with the co-left first. I missed the dots. So we say, sorry, position to the relative. And width to be 46%. Okay. 46%. Okay. So cut is looking like this. Then we have the content title. Okay. So we're going to copy the content title plus put the dots, then paste. So I just need to give it a margin bottom of 20 pixels. Okay, so it's now separated from the rest of this text. Like it's added a space under it. Yeah, so we also take care of the rights. Take care of the rights position to be relative. Then width to also be 46%. So we have this. We have this. Okay. Then yeah, in co-writes, we have these ones. We have the bar, which is yeah, we have bar here also. We have a div with the class name of bar here. Another one with the class name of bar. And yeah, so you can see the divs are housing another div with contents, right? So let's target these divs first. Okay. So we do this. Margin bottom. Please, one thing you should try to understand is how we use these properties. Okay, how we use them, where we use them. It's very important. Now, I think by now we should understand most of these properties, what it does. Remember when we started, I said the important things to consider is what this thing is used for, where it is used, and when it is used. Okay, I think we are getting I think we are getting some of what questions, like what are these properties? What are they used for? Okay, By now we should be familiar with them. Okay. Yes, Prince. Thank you for. Thank you for that. Thoughts. Wow. Okay. Yeah, Prince. That was very observant of you. I think yeah. Jumi asking the difference between percentage and pixels. Okay. Yeah, percentage when you use percentage, it really makes it this thing, it makes it a responsive kind of how do I explain for you to understand now? Okay, I will explain towards the end of the class, so it doesn't take much of our time. Okay, Jimmy, let's just see if we can go far today. So the bar, we have margin bottom from so we have imagine bottom of 10 pixels. Then we have a padding of 10 pixels too. Okay, so we have this. We have this. Then we have the bar, then we also have the info. Okay, we have the info here. We have the class of info here. Okay, so we target the info. Class of info. display its flex. Then we align item center. Justify content center. Sorry, not center, space between. Now in the info is where we have this the two spans, right? In the info we have the two spans. Then if you are if we are to add a space between them, yeah, one will be taken to the far right. The other one will stay at the left. Okay, just like this, right? So this is what we have. Then we have margin bottom of 5 pixels. Okay, that's for info. Then we want to target the spans now. Then no space, sorry. Yeah, we target the span. Font size of 18 pixels. Font weight of 500. So what do we have here?
Sir, the spam is not a class.
Wow, wow. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Okay. Yeah, thank you very much. It's not a class, please. It's a tag name. We are targeting it by the tag name. Yeah. Thanks for that correction and observation. So we have this now, looking like this, okay? So we are done with the spans now. Then we have the empty div we created and gave it a class of line, and this one is JavaScript. This one has the same class of line and CSS. This one has the same class of line, then HTML, okay? So we are targeting this empty div now. It doesn't have any content inside, okay? So so I hope this one is class now. Let me now go and use targeted by the div. Okay, yeah, it's a class. So we are giving it a position of relative. Okay. Then width of 100%. Do we have any results yet? No. Then a height of 5 px. Then background of Yeah, this, yeah. So we have this, okay, with a border radius of just 2 pixels. So you can see the very edge is kind of rounded, okay. So yeah, we are going to use the studio class again. Studio class again. Which is the before studio class. Okay. So we get an empty content. An empty content. Yeah, Prince, you want to ask a question? Then give it a position of absolute. Okay. Before and after. We use before to insert something before an element or before a selector. Right? When I mean selector now, is the element we are selecting now. Like this line now is this div. So the line is the selector we are using. So we are adding something before the selector. It can be text. It can be just a line, right? Like we did in the title. It could be just a design or a rounded, shape, which we used, we did in the title. Okay, so use the use the before to style to add something to a selector or an element. The after does the opposite. You add it after the element. Okay. Did I answer your question, Prince? Or do you need more clarification? So the before is used to add something before a selector or an element. Okay.
Okay. But sir, please, I want to ask something.
Okay.
Why do some pseudo classes used to use double semicolon? Why this one is using single?
Okay, it's just the syntax. It's just a difference of syntax. Like
Okay.
that's the rule that comes with it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Jimmy, you wanted to show an example. You wanted me to show an example. Okay, I could have this. Now this is a shortcut I'm using. Don't get confused. So I'm creating a p tag. Remember, the greater than sign is to indicate what will be inside the p tag, right? So now I wrote the lorem, which is the dummy text we have been using. So if I hit enter, it creates a p tag with the lorem inside. Okay. So if I go here, you don't need this. So I could target the p tag like this. And yeah, you can use this. Now you have first letter, you have first line, right? If I should go okay, let me. This is what you have, right? So if I choose the first, you can see if I use the first letter, if I target the first letter now, I would so let's change the color to brown. Let's use red. Let me increase the font size to be X large. Now I'm targeting the first letter now. Okay. On target first line. So I'm targeting the first line. Now these are some of the examples you can use where you can use studio elements and yeah. Jimmy, I hope you're clear on that now. Can you all hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Sorry, I have a question.
Okay.
Now, I want to understand the use of the double full colon and how and when we use them.
The what?
The use of full colons after the P before the first line.
Okay, okay. Okay, now let me make a clarification, okay? Now we have pseudo classes and elements. Okay. Pseudo classes and elements. This now is a pseudo element. I didn't really get your name. The person that asked if this semicolons, okay, the two semicolons comes with pseudo elements. Okay. The one semicolon, like we've used it before, comes with pseudo classes. Yeah, so that you don't get mixed up. Let's straighten out things so we don't get confused and mix it up. We have pseudo classes and pseudo elements. Okay, so the pseudo classes comes with one semicolon, and the pseudo elements comes with two, right?
Yeah, now that is exactly what I need to understand. Thank you.
Yes, yes. And yes, I was mixing up this after and before.
Sorry, I want to ask a question. You said the studio classes comes with one.
Yeah.
Then the studio element comes with two. Now, when you talk about studio classes coming with one, are you talking about when you're working with a div? That's the div itself. And when you're talking about when it comes with one element, is that when we're talking about the tag, like something like the P tag, the H1 tag, the H2 tag, and the H3 tag? Is that what you're trying to explain?
No. Let me explain. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's not what I meant. Classes now is just like this one. You can see it's showing red because this is a pseudo class. It shouldn't have two semicolons. It's showing me elements where I can use. And yes, the after is an element, not a class. Okay, please correct that. It's not a class, it's an element because it comes with two dots. Okay. Yeah, we have been using one for it, which works though, but the two is what it should be. Okay. So the class is just is when you're adding like this silver effect now I showed you before. Okay. It's not adding any elements in this P tag. It's just adding an effect, right? It's adding an effect. That's why it's a studio class. It's adding an effect. Let's say, yeah. We added this over now. By default, this is how it looks like, right? If I should hover there now, this made this. So it's adding an effect, not really adding an element to it. So it's not when you target a p tag or a div tag, okay? You can as well use a studio element here, right? Maybe you want to add an element before the p tag. That's when you use a studio element, right? Then if it's a studio class that comes with one colon, right? It adds an effect, not really a content. Please, I don't know if I clarified all the confusion and misuse we have been having.
Yes, sir.
Okay, please let me see the response, the chat box or anyhow. So we know we are on the same page.
Yes,
okay.
sir. We're on the same page.
Thank you
Yeah,
very much.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. The person that asked, sorry I didn't get your name too, asked the last question about the difference between the two colons and the one. I hope I clarified you. So yeah, we have a lot of studio classes and elements, okay? I have a lot of them. So let's finish up this. Let's finish up this. So please try correcting it in your code. Anywhere we use the elements, the before and after, adding the two semicolons. So we add a height, yeah. Then top of 0, then left 0. Also border radius of 2 pixels. Okay. So yeah. Then I want to target inside the line each of these HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay. So we want to target each of them now. Is that can the person mute his mic? Yeah, thank you. So we have this the first one is HTML, right? Then we have before. The first one is HTML, yeah. So we have the studio elements before. So we want to give it a width of 95%. Then a background of
Sir,
yeah,
I think HTML is not a class.
it's a class. We have HTML class here in the empty div we created.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I missed it.
Yeah. So we have the HTML as a class here. We have the CSS as a class here. We have the JavaScript as a class here in the empty div we created inside the bar, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So now we have this. We have this using the before element. Okay. So what you can do is copy this one. Paste it, then change the HTML to CSS, then change the CSS, the length to be 85, then the color to be okay. Then you have this. Can also paste, then do the JavaScript. Hope I got the spelling correct. Then you can do a width of 80. Then we have this. Okay. We have this. Yeah, thanks, Prince. So we have this. Okay. So using the studio elements before, we added a background color with a width of different sizes. Yeah, and a background color of different background of different colors to give us this styling here. All right. So that's some of the magic you can do with this CSS. Now you can see the full power of CSS coming into play. Full power of CSS. Yeah, there's a lot you can do with CSS. So please, are we all on this? Are Are we all at this point?
Yes, sir.
Okay, lovely. So any questions so far? Okay. I am done with the skills part.
Please, sir, I have a question.
Okay.
Like my skills and experience text, they are actually not looking all right. Are we going to style it later, or is it going to be like that with the read more button?
Okay, we'll start it. We'll start it.
Okay, sir.
We'll style it and so yeah, we are done with the skills section now. You have the services and the projects. The projects. So please, is there anything I need to explain further so that, because yeah, the aim is not to just follow up and write. It's for us to understand the things we are using, the properties, what they do, and how we are using them. Of course, we are getting the feel of how we supposed to use them or how it is being used in this particular project. Okay. So like I said before, I think by now we should be familiar with what the properties does. Yeah, what the properties does and the values. Also the different values, what it can also do. So yeah, we also need to get to know and understand where to use them and how to use them, right? For example, now you've understood how to use the absolute studio elements and sorry, the before and after studio elements. Okay, we've understood how to use them now, and then the absolute too, and other properties here. Okay, in a other projects you might be building, okay, you still be using the same properties, but in a different way, right? So that's why it's important to understand how to use them and where to use them, okay? Most of these properties, you'll be using them regularly, but in different manner and different values, depending on what you want to achieve, okay? So it's important we understand it very well, okay?
Sorry, sir.
Yeah?
I think I have a little trouble with understanding this position absolute. I was trying to replace the absolute positioning with relative to see the effect, but I failed to see what was to be the effect.
Okay. Now, like I said before, the absolute positioning now will be when you position an element absolute. Let me see if I can. Okay. we have this one here. Okay, let's see the okay. We have this. Okay. Okay, now the div3 now, I want to position it relative. Okay, and now the positions wouldn't really kind of give you what you want until you give it until you use this property of left or top or bottom or right to position it where you want it to be, right? Of course, you've made the positioning to be relative, but now how do you direct it? In its direction, right? So this left and right, bottom or top gives it direction of where you want to position it relatively, right? So if I position this div3, this is the div3, yeah? So if I position it to be relative and give it a left of 500 pixels, it moves here, right? The space is still here, but I can position this element wherever I want to, right? But this space will still be here. So in some situations, you don't want to like, you might want to just shift it out, not really 500, okay? Not really 500. You might want to shift it out like this, right? And also return this space. In some cases, you might want to return this space just to shift it out a little bit, right? Any element we position relative, okay? You can use the top, right? Maybe 100 pixels. So it shifts from the top to and left 100 pixels, okay? But this space is still there. So, but it's relative to the parent position. I don't know if you're getting me. Then in absolute, okay. In absolute now, when you position an element in absolute mode, the space is gone. So this element is free to be placed anywhere, but there's this no space again for it. Okay, it's being closed up by the elements below it. So you can now position it anywhere you like. Anywhere you like. If I add it at the top of 500, it comes at the very bottom of this. Could make it 400.
Okay, sir, please, I want to understand. So in the difference between relative and absolute is just taking up the spaces that you moved an object.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Sorry, let me help you out.
Okay.
The position relative now, when you move an object away from a space, the space still remains, is not occupied by any other thing. That's relative. But if it is absolute, automatically another element will take that position. That space will not be there. I think that is what he just illustrated.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks, Jimmy, for that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So yeah, the absolute gives you, yeah, like the name gives you absolute control of the elements you have, and yeah, without maybe creating leaving out space. So it's free, like it's absolutely free to be positioned anywhere you want, using the directions, the top or the left or the bottom or the right, depending on where you want to place it. Okay.
I understand now, sir. Thank you.
Okay, I'm glad you are. Thank you. I don't have all of them offhand. I don't have all of them, or I don't know all of them offhand. I just, these are the ones that I kind of conversant with, okay? Like, yeah, the most common one is, the black color, which is, sorry, the black color, which is the 0. Okay, this is black. Now the hexadecimal color codes now, the full length of it, or how many it should be, the codes, it should be 6, okay? But if you use 3, it will work. That is if the codes are the same thing. Like if I have, this is 3 now, if I add more 3, it will still work because this is the complete code. But because they are the same, you can always use 3, okay? Then this is for black, and we have white for the FF. If I still type 1, 2, 3, to still be white, okay? If you add any other this thing, it might change, okay? Still have white here, a variation of white though. So I don't have all of them. Like, so, but we'll be doing a good practice. Yeah, by our next class, I will show us the best way to yeah, use this color, this hexadecimal colors. Because yeah, you can't really remember the codes combination if they have different codes combination. Okay, just like some of the ones we have here, you can't really remember them, right? So unless you're really used to them, maybe use them on a daily basis, but a lot of other colors that you might want to combine, okay? So there's a way we can make it more easier to remember, right? Make it more easier to remember. So yeah, we'll be doing that by tomorrow, okay? So yeah, Victor, you are raising your hand.
Yes, sir. Sir, okay. Honestly speaking, I'm still lost. I'm still trying to digest that studio class and studio element in CSS. I've not really figured when I can use the studio class or when I should be able to use the studio element. Okay.
Okay.
Then one more thing.
Yeah.
My laptop battery is down. So I don't know if it's possible for us to still get this video again so that I can go through this video probably today at night. Then so I'll be able to watch this video and watch it and get to understand it better still. Thank you. If it's okay to pause, I really appreciate it. Thank you very
much. Yeah, Prince, thank you for always making the correction. Yeah, it can be easily be called studio, right? It's studio, exactly. It's studio, not like our Visual Studio Code. It's studio element. Studio in the sense that something that is not in existence before. Yeah, something that is not in existence before. Yeah, thanks a lot, thanks. So yeah, Victor, the video will be available, but I'm not sure. I wouldn't guarantee you that it will be available this night. Okay, that's one thing. Okay, I wouldn't guarantee you that. So about yeah, the studio class and elements you're talking about. Okay. Now, when you want to use a studio class, first of all, it comes with one semicolon. Okay. It comes with one semicolon, like the hover. Like the hover. You can see these are some of the studio classes we can use. I think we've used this one when we are doing the animation. Right? When we are doing the animation, we use that studio class.
Yes,
right?
we've used that one. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So now this is a class because it comes with a one semicolon, and it doesn't really add a content. It doesn't really add additional content or elements, right? It just has kind of a reaction, or yeah, or an effect rather, an effect, right? Now this one is just used to target the child element inside this. So it's not really adding a new thing to it. It's just using to target an element, right? The hover effect is used to add an effect to an element, right? But if you have a studio element, you're adding something to it, right? I don't know if I explained better, Victor.
Yeah, you did. Thank you. Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome. Yeah, because of time constraints, I think I was hoping we could finish it up today, and yeah. And yeah, we couldn't have the fun part. Though we had fun, but the fun part. But it's fine. What we couldn't do today, we'll still do it tomorrow. So definitely tomorrow we'll finish it up. We'll finish it up. Yeah, we'll finish it up, and yeah, still have that fun part so that we don't keep it we don't keep our curiosity waiting.